Now let me just remove some stuff so we can see. So, did anyone struggle trading today? Or
Wasn't the greatest day to trade, but I
We
did.
struggle every day.
I'm sorry.
I struggle every day.
Oh.
At
I
one
guess
point
Price,
when it-
price action was not the greatest, but yeah, I did good.
okay.
at one point when it reversed really bad and dropped.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't the easiest day, but I think they played levels pretty good. They stuck for the most part. So somebody's mic's pretty hot.
Yeah, they gave us a few good levels.
On the weekly, right? So we are in the weekly balance. If you guys remember, we talked about the 6-day balance, and that was the balance here, right? It was the 43.63. Well, obviously we kind of went under, right? And then we came back and then sliced down and continued down, right? I'm surprised that they didn't go a little bit lower. I was at least expecting them to hit some of these volume nodes that are here. Make it bigger so you guys can see it. Because they almost bounced in no man's land. I was at least expecting that they come a little bit lower here, but that was, I guess, close enough if you think about it, right? They came in at 330. I was expecting in this range that they would come on ES, but hey, that's pretty good. Right now, if you want the bulls to regain a level, what level do you guys think we need to regain?
$43.50.
Why that one?
So June Val kind of sets up like a spring if
It does.
they regain and hold.
Yeah, that's a big level because you're right. I mean, when you think about the bigger picture, right, on the market. So let me go hide these guys. This was our value area high. We'll just enable it so you guys can see it. Let's see. So here's your value area low right here, right? So that's the 43.50 level, I believe was right on 43.50 before. So something like this, right? So you do have to regain this if you want to go higher. I would say if you regain 43.63, it really sets up nicely for a potential, nice reclaim that you're gonna go higher, and then you could target that 43.96, which has been fairly big because that's October POC here. So this would be, October developing POC, and I would say that's a pretty big level here, guys. I would anticipate that we are, at some point you're gonna revisit. So in the lowercase b, right? If you go away from a lowercase b, most likely the next day there's a high chance you're gonna come back and touch that equilibrium of P or B, dependent where you are, right? So now this is a monthly, right? On the monthly profile, right, we are kind of dancing here. We had a balance, right? We broke it. Some would call it diamond top. So now they still have a little bit of ways to go, right? So this would be our developing value area low for October. And it's a high chance that if they're not able to reclaim 43.50, that they would just continue and hit this level here, right? And just proceed lower. So we're going to look for the lower time frames on a daily to see where's the value area low or nodes and determine, where do we go for short. But reclaim of 43.50 is a really bullish sign, and we're not that far from it, guys. We're 3 points far, away from it. And I don't know if you guys looked at the delta on the daily today on ES is fairly positive, right? So they went down, but look at this delta here. It's about 11,000 positive on the delta here. And then when you look at the picture to the left, this is where, we had this massive volume, 2.1 million contracts traded, positive delta. They went up, and look where we came back. I mean, we went below, and then you're kind of holding this level. And to me, I think there's a high chance for a bounce. And then if you look at this picture right here, if you're able to, from the profiles, I'm just talking about what I'm seeing here. If you're able to reclaim this above the ask here at 56, high chance you're going to run down to 70. So reclaiming 4350 is the first step towards, I would say, running up, right? And that would be the June value area low. Okay, so good job there. Let's see, this is October, and then that's monthly profiles. So if you guys think about it, we are really still, you know, even though it looks like, you know, we're having drastic moves here, we're still in the 4-month balance. Let me see. I'll name this one Cuban 68. What the hell is that? And this,
The other day he was picking on him.
and if you guys look at this level here, right? This is your, I would say, 4-month SIG 1 is sitting right here. And I would say that's I mean, it's a huge level, guys. If they're able to kind of hold this and reclaim it, I mean, high chance you're going to push potentially even, you know, 44.10-ish. This is where we're, you know, we're dancing here for some time. So I wouldn't be against if we go, because if you remember when we reclaimed this level here, I think it was, no, it was, wasn't it? I forgot, sorry. One of these levels when we reclaimed it, we were like, hey, high chance, if you guys remember the watch list, that there you're going to go around to 44. But at that time it was 20 or 18 and a half. And we came here and then we dumped. And if you're not able to break it, we said there's a chance you're going to go back to the value area low. Well, here we are, right? We're still consolidating. I wouldn't say, you know, they threw the towel in yet. Because if you look at these nodes here, this is a decent node, right? This is not a bad node in terms of, you know, what you're seeing here. Look, that's pretty good. Then the next one here also is, I would say, fairly large at this level, which should be 42.90. And then you have some gap protections, right? So you have some skinny bellies in this area, October to here, so about 4,300. So if you lose this level, then you know there's a high chance you're probably going to go here from the bigger picture that you're going to be targeting 31, and then 42.90 is probably going to happen quickly because there's not much volume here, and it's just going to slice and target this. Below that, then by now most of you guys should be aware about the 41.40 level here. Ultimately, I would think that they're going to have to come back here on a bigger picture and tap this. And I don't think there's a better time than to do it now while you have bonds exploding. You have, you know, war, a lot of negative news, and then they, you know, put a lot of fear, and you come here and people start shorting, and then they get a nice little bounce, probably 150, 200 points from here, could go to 43.50, right? So I'd watch this on a bigger picture. And then when you go on smaller, on like, let's say 30 minutes, see what they did here. Yeah, so whenever you have a, you know, I would say this is, I would consider this to be a late spike, just like we've had, I would say for the past 8 months. Some days we would have these late spikes, like this one here. I'm sorry, like these here that come in with the drastic, right, candles coming in down or up. Mainly we've had them where they break up to the upside on through the value areas when the price just, you know, leaves and the value area is stuck below. That usually requires confirmation, right? And I would consider this to be a late spike as well. And it'll be interesting. I mean, you guys see us pumping right now. It'd be interesting to see what they do here at the 43.50 level. So I'll be really, really interested to see if they come in here, reject this 43.55, which was also the ask, if you guys remember just moments ago on the footprints. There are really not much interest on the ask side there below. So if they're able to reclaim this PD value area low 54, I would say that's a really bullish sign for me, at least, to kind of flip long, because everybody's short. As you know, mentality of the retail or individual traders who, you know, they're probably shorted on these candles, and then, you know, they got killed by getting this nice bounce all the way from 43.31 now 20 points. So the idea is that you know, if you're trading futures, it's a little bit harder to swing than it is to trade options. But when you're reaching at these major levels, is that you're looking for short opportunities at the top, not at the bottom here. So I would keep this as a key zone for me to reclaim. I would say this zone right here, if we are able to reclaim that, change it to green. We were looking more bullish. We hit 43.63. And then ultimately, I mean, this is, I would say, it looks like a decently D-shaped profile, right? And I would say here, maybe it's a failed auction. I can't tell. No, it's not a failed auction. And single prints on the bottom. So there's excess here. There's a lot of buyers that came in here. I would expect if you're able to reclaim this, that we most likely would go to this PDPOC quickly. And that's the 43.70. And I think that's what we said based on the larger footprints that target would be as well. So I would definitely watch this over 43.54. Probably shoot 43.70 fairly easy here. I wouldn't expect us to recover to 43.90, and I don't know how Tesla did after hours. And the big boy Netflix, if they kept all the gains so far. But just know that you had a POC and then you had a decent, I would say skinny belly here, and kind of like a second distribution here as well. So keep that in mind tomorrow. If they crack this, there's a high chance that they're going to reject this as well.
43.70 would be a good short.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, PDPLC. Yeah.
Yep. I would definitely agree with that. And then if you guys look here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 days, right? And we broke that balance. So it was mainly here because this day here doesn't really count. We broke this balance, and then you see here, the PDPOC here matches the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days not value area low. So this area here becomes I would say, pretty good shorting opportunity if you're able to push there in this range. So reclaim this, go there. Your sentiment changes from really bearish to somewhat bullish because you're reclaiming a 4-month balance low. But at the same time, you're reclaiming short-term auction PD value area low. I wouldn't size up. I would just play regularly. And if that fails, then you know that they potentially auction higher. Because if they reclaim this PDPOC, that would mean that they're also reclaiming 7-day value area low here, correct?
Yeah.
If they do that, then what do you think they're targeting? They'll be targeting 43.95. Because is it going to be choppy? Yeah, it's going to be choppy because look at the just look at the profiles. Look at the price action we've had it, right? So it won't be clean, but they'll drag it up, right? It could be one of those melt ups, right? Where it just kind of chugs along, and like this one here. This is not really tradable. It's annoying and it's difficult to trade. And then, they have these pullbacks where they hit your stop losses and people get aggravated and you lose patience and then you trade badly and then you revenge trade and so on. So if you're going to play the short, don't expect to make 10 times the size of your typical trade. Just play normally. Okay.
Yeah.
So my bullish 55, I would say above 43, 50, 75, I will feel somewhat bullish, right? You reclaim this zone here, I'm fairly bullish. And then you can run this to 43.69. For a lot of you guys, 15 points on ES is a lot of money. Well, for me as well.
Yeah.
So if you're able to catch this 15 points on ES, this is great. And you also have this, if you guys remember this POC here, when we had that crazy run here. So that POC is in that area. I usually like these POCs to be my pivots because they tend to hold. Whenever you have an extended POC like this, the rule is when you have a POC like this, that you're going to come back and retest that equilibrium. And you see here, we popped and we came back. We dipped below. Once it's reclaimed, they usually continue running. Okay.
Then you got that 2 times 2 POC up there.
Which one? This one here?
At 43.95.
Yeah. That one's huge because that's also a 7-day POC.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely watch this right here for a short opportunity, right? And then if you guys look at this, if you're able to crack below, I would say 40, if you want to trade momentum, you got to lose this level here from volume profile perspective. You got to lose 43.40, and then I would say, the bearish sentiment's sitting right around here somewhere. I'm looking at this shelf as well. I'm looking here, and I would probably say, momentum short below, right? It just depends where we open tomorrow, right? I don't know where we're going to open, but that will be where I play short here, long here. If we break PDPOC, I'm pretty certain I would be cautious as we arrive at this 43.80. 80 has been a really crucial level. 80 to 84 lately has been really, really important. Actually, 82.5 or a quarter was a level that we watched for some time because it was this level right here. It was a POC, if you guys remember, plus the value area high. They played a couple of bounces there. So I would watch this area for rejection between 82 and 86. Okay. If they crack this, you're watching this zone for rejection. Is everybody clear on expectations and what we're seeing?
Yes.
4380. Yeah, 4380 is 2023 value area high developing.
Yep. So I don't have those major levels there just because we've been in the 4-month balance and I'm using that as a latest one. But if you look at the 4-month balance, right? I mean, this is a huge level, guys. This plus this 41, I would say, here it dipped a little bit lower now. Let's call it, what is this? Man. Call it 1110, right? It would be a node around it, right?
410.
So it'd be something like that. This is a huge level. This is a sentiment changer. And I told you guys last time, you really have to, this here where they popped above is not spending time above. This is them looking above and failing. What I mean by looking above and working is they do this, right? They make higher highs, they make higher lows, and then they come here. Then I'd play this bounce here. This doesn't warrant any bounce right here because they barely, they barely went above it. They went above and they didn't even clear all the shelves around it, right? They just came back. When you want to see a retest on a major level like this, where all the volume is, because that's what POC is, it has a lot of volume. A lot of people are happy to trade in this area. If they're telling you, hey, we're not happy trading above this level, where do you think they're going to go? 9 out of 10 times they're going to go for that PD value area low of the same time frame that you're looking. So we're looking at 4 months, and this is the PD value area low. Look where they came back. They dipped below. I personally think this is a trap. I think we're going back to the range. Okay. Yeah, I saw that.
Shorty, when you look at it like that on that time frame, I'm looking at it now. Would you even consider that action on the bottom there to be the spring and the tap from today being like the confirmation?
Well, if you're talking about this structure here, right, with this guy, or what are you talking about? Because
so a little bit to the left, like how we went below the 4-month like range or value area low, and now we've popped back above, and we've popped back above, and now with today's low, kind of like a confirmation of like if we start going up, of course. I'm talking about like a spring on a bigger time frame.
Well, if we reclaim this, I think we're gonna have a run to value area high in Q4. I think we're gonna hit this in Q4. I don't know when, right? But I think that would be the target. Ultimately, there's a level 45, 12. I have 45.12 on a weekly time frame somewhere around here. Maybe even this node here. I have a level that I would be targeting if we are able to reclaim this POC. Remember, there's a lot of fear in the market. They should not steer you away from the chart. If we reclaim 43.50, 55, longer time frame, you're targeting 44.11. So that's about 61 points. Woohoo, not a lot. But if you're able to reclaim this level, your bias really turns bullish. And I would expect to hit this in Q4. So don't let the distraction of what they're doing right now steer you away from your charts. That's my only advice I can give you on charting. I don't know if you guys know about the Roman Empire. Do you guys, if you read any books, do you know how they distracted people from when it was falling down?
Colosseum.
Yeah, they had
News.
Colosseum and they had circus. They had parades. They gave you a good time while everything else was failing.
Yeah, the entertainment.
Yeah. So, and we have a lot of entertainment. So, Just
Shorty, can you
FYI.
explain
I'm
again?
not very entertained.
Well, nobody is, but sorry. Go ahead, Dash.
Sorry, can you explain again why you would go short on the momentum short level when to me it looks like it would be a long?
This one here. Oh, I'm saying if you break this, I would go short. I'm saying if I'm a momentum trader, we have some people that trade breakouts instead of the trend. So right now the trend is definitely 30 minutes. I would say it's down, lower high, lower high, lower high. I'm saying if you're losing this equal low here, right here, somebody who trades momentum, you could literally trade this and hit the bottom here for 8-10 points or target October. I'm not saying that I would take it, but momentum traders are probably watching this level here. And
Oh, I
there's not a
understand.
lot of volume here, so it'd probably be a quick drop. This is not a trade that I would entertain.
All right, I get it now. Thank you.
Let's see. So I think it's actually a fairly simple chart. I think we're gonna run in the morning. So they're gonna shake out the people. They're gonna get them excited, but we'll be watching this 43.70 here. And then another thing you guys can do, right? If you see, right, and this is the bread and butter. If you see that we're trending down, I mean, just look. Where are your volume nodes? Okay, well, you're holding this one here, right? So let's say you want to go swing overnight. This is your, if you're going long, you have to be somewhere below here as a stop loss, call it 38, right? So you're risking here 8 points, right? And you will have to take some profits. If you're going long here, your profits are somewhere up here, so 70. So you're talking about 24 points, right? 24 divided by 3 is 8. So you have 8 points cushion from here. So that'll be right around here somewhere, 7. So your stop loss can be here and you can still make a decent trade, right? Does everybody follow what I'm talking about? Let's see. So it'd be something
Yeah.
like this. This is the trade that you could, let's say, take now. As long as they hold this volume node here, you have a chance for it, right, to work out. And it seems like, yeah, do you guys see anything unusual here happening at 3:30? Is there anything unusual in this candle right here?
Volume anomaly.
It's like absorption.
Look at it now. It's 3:30, right? We had a spike down and then look at this. This is a pretty, if you zoom out, does it look like small volume or?
Mm,
Yeah, that's big.
And you take a look here, we had large candle, large volume.
yeah,
Now, if you look at this one here, I would say that's,
it's an anomaly.
third highest. So it's a stopping volume candle here.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're going long, I mean, I don't know if I would risk 14 points on ES myself, but if you can get a lower entry somewhere in between here, that's not a bad entry here. You
Even
see the value area low is being held in this little consolidation here.
even on the 1 minute candle, if you look, you have a huge red candle. The very next one is green with less volume, much larger. I'm sorry, I'm looking at NQ. Never mind.
Yeah.
Same deal going on NQ.
At 4 o'clock, they had a decent one here. Yeah. So, I mean, let's see if I was to play this here. Where is this? So they're most likely going to head right now. Hopefully they give me this entry. I'll go long overnight.
I'm gonna try MES overnight then.
If you can get an entry between 43.42 and 43.39, that's ideal. And I think what they will do is they're gonna trap right now. They're gonna have a big spike candle down and a big return. But let's see. That's what they typically do at this time of the night. Okay. As you guys know, we do have TPOs now, which is, it's really handy to be in trading view. So you guys here, you can kind of tell which period we went sideways, right? So I'm actually at like 6 on ES. I don't know why it doesn't save. Okay, so let's see. It is a P-shaped profile and you're kind of going down, right? So you spent some time here, consolidated, which should be
ETH.
probably, I'm sorry. Oh, an
ETH.
ETH, yeah. Thank you. Come on. Hide this guy. So if you guys look here on the regular trading hours, this is called a spike, 100% spike here on value area high or low, I'm sorry. When you do a spike, you have to retest and confirm that. If they're able to regain this, what would that mean? That means the value is not fair and they're going to bring back this value inside. If they accept the value inside, then, you know, most likely, as you guys know, the 80% rule, you're going to be targeting this 43.78 on TPOs. And if you guys look, this is where the single prints were here. There's a lot lined up at this level. And I think, don't quote me, I think some of us shorted this today. No, actually I did. I got 76 today on this drop here. It was a level ever. I think it was me and somebody else was watching. Well, maybe it was you, Dempsey. Somebody was
Yeah,
watching
it happened fast.
77, 78. Well, Ashley, actually, you're on. I gave you the 77, 78 breakdown and why multiple confluences was that level good for a break. And I brought my
Oh
memory
yeah, that
back.
one was killer today.
Is that early in the
Yeah, that was-
morning, right?
No, it was here. It was around 1 o'clock. It was
Oh,
a
okay.
good level.
77, yeah.
Yeah, I shorted here and I was able to catch it. I forgot what I caught on ES.
It was on NQ that you did it.
Yeah, I did NQ, but I had small ES trade. I only had one, maybe two contracts here. I drove that, but then NQ, man, NQ, I would have caught 200 plus points if I held it. I did catch 70 though. That's good. But
Yeah.
for new people here, right? Right now, we are below the value of prior day, right? So that means if we stay below it, if we get rejected here, right? That means, hey, you're no longer value here. You have to search for value lower.
Lower.
If they get accepted here, if they're like, okay, well, the doors are open, come on in. Okay, well, they can happily trade again here. And you can see then you're back inside of this range here because of this B-shaped profile is going to keep you in. Right now, you reclaim this level. Well, you are at 43.48. You're reclaiming the lowest value area low of that range, right? And does that play a role? Not really. When you're in a bracketed market, I do pay attention how many days you spent above a consolidated value area high and consolidated value area low. But in this case here, you had a lowercase b that was used for a short cover rally with this P shape here. Like I mentioned, when you have a B shape or a P, you know, a B or P in a trend like this in a bracket, most likely you're going to come back and test this range here. And this 43, 57, 55 was actually pretty good level today on ES. I don't know if you guys paid attention, but we bounced. We also had a VPOC there at 43.55. From volume profile perspective, we bounced nicely there. We recovered. That went like 20 plus points, and then that dump started, right? I hate to say it, but if we reclaim this, I'm really bullish. I don't know. My long-term port, I have, you know, close to, I would say, 250,000 short on the longer dated stuff, meaning NASDAQ, but I'm not too worried for that. But overall, I wouldn't mind seeing this another pump. And then if we push to this value area high, that'd be great. Because now what happened? If you guys look here, if this was our value area high here or a range high, and this was our range low, do you see what they did? If they reclaim this island, you want to cover what you talked about earlier?
If they reclaim that value area low, it's like is June Valorant also like the first leg of this range that we're in, so it should return to the mean.
It's going to return to the mean, guys. A high chance it would return to the mean of this. But then also this could be used as a spring, right? If you're able to, you know, trap the people here, this is a typical market maker setup. You go here, you drop below, they bite for it. Guys, this typically ends higher. Just go test it, look for ranges and see what they do. I would say 99% of retail swung puts. And I don't know if puts is the choice that I would go with, but let's see. Unless something changes overnight, right? But this is the level we're watching here. Why is there a line here? Okay. Does that make sense about the value acceptance and rejection? So the first instinct to here is that we're going to get a rejection, right? Then as soon as they reclaim this right here, right, you're going to be targeting this area here. If they pop here, this area here is dangerous, right? This is a dangerous area for initiating any longs, right? Because there'll be a first day, right? They're back. You have this nasty seller here. So I'll be watching, to go along here. Drive probably somewhere 43.63, 10 points. Trim, keep the rest, let it go here, get out. If they reclaim it, go along here again. And if I can catch, 15 here and another 10 here, that's it, right? I wouldn't force tomorrow too much. I don't know if they're speakers, like a lot of them, but I think the jobless claims is tomorrow. If I remember, Thursday. It's tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, jobless claims tomorrow. So 8:30 is going to offer a lot of volatility, and I think they will adjust the numbers. Let's call it adjusting at this point. The numbers will look somewhat better tomorrow.
You also have Powell talking tomorrow.
Does anyone know what's his topic or?
I don't know. It just says he speaks at, I guess 9 your time. It's at 12 noon, I guess.
Oh, okay. EST.
I believe that's, yeah, that would be, no, that's Eastern time, 12 Eastern.
Oh, there's, yeah.
They got Chicago Fed talking.
Oh man, they have a lot. Short-term bond auction, 30-year mortgage. Yeah, there's. He speaks at noon. Who's Goolsby? I've never heard of that guy.
Goolsby's the guy who used to be one of Obama's financial advisor. He's relatively new. He's from Chicago, University of Chicago, I believe.
I mean, they're speaking constantly. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna talk about, but yeah. I would protect my capital more so than look to gain a lot. Even if you don't lose anything and you don't trade, I think that's a win in next couple of days. Because this volatility, and even when you look at this chart here, I mean, some candles, right? I'm just gonna draw some stuff, right? When you look at this, like you had a nice equal lows here, they break it, right? But then you see these, one candle and then a major bounce. A lot of people freak out when this happens, unless you're trading on ashes and you're just looking at the momentum switch and you're not closing till a one candle makes a higher high, right? Because remember, ashy candles open at the 50% of the next candle always. You guys know that? You
Did
guys
not
aware?
know that.
So here's this one, opens 50% of that one. And there's any candle, right? This one opens 50% of that one. Ashi candles are dependent on the previous candle for open. So if you're losing some trades and if you're struggling, honestly, if I was you guys, I would not mind looking at some of these, especially if these Ashi candles, like how would you play the reversal? Well, here, if a candle goes and breaks this with the body, then any retest of that level, I would go along with that candle, right? And if the candle switches, so if you go on 30 minutes is usually pretty good for Ashis, right? You can see, for instance, here, let me hide this. You can see any switches here. So you have a stop candle, here's a candle break, and they give you a nice little retest on this one. So now if you look at this candle, look where the break is. Half of that candle, 43.54 would be the go ahead from the momentum standpoint. And trust me, there's people, they use point and figure. I don't know if you have it here. Oh, there. They can use these candles as well to calculate it, to figure out where to go along. And a lot of traders are going to watch that 43.55. So I might get a lot of momentum tomorrow. Okay. Man, my throat just drying up. Okay, any questions on ES? Is it pretty straightforward for most of you guys, or?
It's pretty clear.
Okay, stick to the
Yeah.
plan. Do not force it. And if you're deviating from the plan, high chance that it's not gonna work. Um,
Shorty, a question with TPO charts. Do you like rely on those levels as much as you would volume profile? Like play it the same way, like play
Play them the
rejection.
same way. Yeah, no, I play it the same way. The only thing where, you know, time and volume spent is key, right? If you're spending time and volume below a level, that means you're accepting it, right? For me, the difference is I'm able to tell at what point. I can't tell on this particular chart because I can't figure out how to break it where I see the letters and development of it. Excuse me, as I can in Quantar, but I'm able to see single prints. I'm able to see that this is a failed auction. This is a failed auction here. This is a completed auction here, right? Whenever there's a single print followed by a double or a triple, this is also a failed auction for me. And that would be the 43.17 level, or 43.15.17 is a level that you would expect to be revisited, right? From market profile perspective, that they will come in this range and they would look for a bounce. Okay. Then I'm able to see if there's, you know, like I said, poor high, poor low, and I'm able to see poor structures much easier than sometimes be able to tell on, I would say, on volume profile. So this is weekly profiles, okay? But I play it the same way. I just look to see, for the most part, in which period are you breaking certain levels, right? Is it AB, right? Because that's your initial balance. Are you breaking it towards the middle of the day? Like, is that normal? Is it typical that you break something at noon? Probably not, right? Like usually your, you know, AB is till 10:30, right? Then you have the C11 and D's 11:30. Usually D and E are quiet, right? Usually you don't get a whole lot of action, but I keep an eye on that. It's a mental note for me, if that makes sense. But I play it the same way. I just look at the levels. I look at the access. I look at the value area, acceptance, rejections. The 80 rule percent still applies. And that's why they, you know, when I do this, right, a lot of people have this enabled as well. Because you're able to see, right? Let me see if I can switch this. Right, a lot of people do this, right, where they see the volume profile in this, and I would say 90% of the time, the value areas are going to match. Where you spent, let's say 68% of the time is most likely where you had a lot of volume too. Unless you're in what?
Trend day.
Trend day, yeah. If you're in a trend day, things change a little bit because what happens is that it doesn't happen as time-wise, it's quick. Volume-wise, it can change, right? How quickly they execute the trades or whatnot, but sometimes they don't match on those type of days, if that makes sense. But I pay attention to equally on the both sides, just so I know. I mean, here we're in RTH and look, POC's at 43.62. This one is at 65. I don't trust this in volume profile from TPO screens. I don't use it. I prefer to use a regular one. Okay. But this is, you know, this is an interesting range here. Like we said, 63 is a level we can watch out for rejection. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if I did or not, but
Yeah,
You're
it
down
does.
you're down at the 39 range if you wanted to put in a long.
oh, we dumped. Oh, we're almost there. Okay. We'll go play MES. I'm just gonna see what they're doing here. 16 minutes till the auction is complete here.
NQ went up and filled the gap and then dropped.
Yeah, this is I would say this is a decent level here. We're just gonna change something here. Yeah, I'm gonna go long here. Okay. All right, guys. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Then we'll be live as well.
All right, Shorty. Good night. Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
Shorty.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shorty, thank you.